how many people came here tonight because you really thought this could be a brand new career for you? In other words, this could be your chance to quit the job and maybe have the money to do what you really wanted, and you're going to run it as a business. How many business people do we have here tonight? All right, most of the people. Now, there's two groups. There's the people that join, and they do it as a hobby, correct? These are awesome people. They say, this is better than wasting my evenings. I can learn personal development. I love the products. I can share them with other people. I can change people's lives. They enjoy it, right? And then there's the people that say, I can do all that, plus make a lot of money by building a team. So tonight, is it okay if we talk about the building the team group? So if you're here tonight, ask yourself this. I know where I want to go, but I'm not there yet. How many people have noticed that? All right, so we know where we want to go, but we're not there yet. Any idea why not? So, I don't know, just kind of happens. Why aren't we where we want to go? And the reason is, there's a bunch of stuff that we don't know between us and where we want to go. That's it. How many people here like to learn that stuff right away? Yeah, because if we, it's going to work better, great. Let me give you this. If we know, we'd already be there, but we don't know. So if you're sitting here, don't worry about where you are right now. Just say, the only reason I'm not all the way to where I want to be is just some stuff I haven't learned yet. And that's the stuff that holds us back. Now, you might be thinking, well, I guess so, but I'm not sure I'm ever going to make it. It's kind of hard for me. I'm not sure I can learn it. So I'm going to ask you this. I just flew in this afternoon on one of these Airbus 380s, this really, really big plane. How many people here would be willing to jump out of that plane with no parachute for $10,000? All right, nobody. Okay, now, we didn't do that, but I forgot to mention that the plane's still on the ground. And then we cut off the wheel, so it's only about jumping about this far. So we made our decision that it wouldn't be possible, right? Before we had all the information. And that's what happens to us in our business. We make a decision we can't do it before we found out there's some tricks and skills that will make it easy for us to do. So we join, oh, it's impossible, it's never going to work for me. Well, that's because there's some information we're missing. And what happens is people give up before they find out that the plane's on the ground with the wheels cut off. It would have been easy if they would have just found something. So what happens is we make decisions based upon what we know now. It's like make a decision if you can drive or not when you're age 4. It's just kind of hard to see how it ever reached the pedals or see over the windshield. But we can do a lot of things. For instance, how many people here have a mind? A mind, you know, a brain. So you think about this. All right. Let's see how it's sharp. How many numbers could you memorize at one time? What if I gave you 4 numbers to remember? How many people here think you could do that? I'll tell you 4 numbers you can remember. How many people here think you could do 6? Raise your hand and do 6. 8. How many people here think you can, let's use credit cards. How many people here think you can memorize 16 consecutive digits after hearing it just one time? Nobody. Because, well, we know we can't do it. So let me give you the 16 digits and see how many people here can pass the test, right? Now don't write these down, just listen and see if you can memorize this. You're here one time. Are you ready? Yeah. 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. How many people here can memorize this?
All of us. Everyone.
Everyone. So, did we make up our mind before we had all the information?
Yes.
And that's what humans do. We talk ourselves out. So please, if you're sitting here tonight and you think, maybe I just can't do it, oh, trust me, you can. I can guarantee that every person here in this room can do this business if we just learn some things we don't know right now. So how many people here, absolutely, even though today is the worst day of your life, and everybody's told you no, and you had one distributor who quit, even if it's the worst day of your life, how many people here believe you could do this if you maybe knew some more stuff? So let's get on with it, okay? Please don't quit. Please don't do something else. Just figure out how to make this work. Because once you figure out how it works, people will come to you. You don't have to go after people. Now there's two things we will have to learn. Not too many of us. It's so easy, even people from Texas can do this. Alright. So, number one thing that we have to do to be successful, if you want to be like him, the first thing is mindset. We have to get our minds right. Now, I want you to imagine your most negative relative. The depressing one. You know, if they won the lottery, they say, well, I just have to pay taxes. They'd be upset. If somebody is super negative, sabotages themselves all the time, is there a chance of them making it? Probably not, right? So the number one thing that we have to do is get our minds right. We have to believe that we can do it. We have to want it. And that will get you 75% of the way. How cool is that? Now, what's nice about that is everybody here in this room has already done that. Rush, you want to be here tonight? Everyone here already has your mindset that you say, no, I can do it. I can set goals. I know what I want. I know where I want to go. How many people here feel absolutely fabulous that you're 75% of the way there already? That's like awesome. If you're here tonight, you've already made up your mind that this is something I want to do and I can do it, you've done the hardest part. And I'll tell you why. Take that negative friend and try to change their mind. That's the hardest thing in the world. It's impossible, isn't it? It's almost impossible to change somebody's negative mindset to make them positive. I don't want to attempt it. I think if you had high-level skills, you might get a little bit of success, but it is hard. And you have already accomplished that. You're 75% of the way. How many people here tonight want to finish the last 25%? Well, you're there already, right? So, 75% of the way, though, is not far enough. Let's say that you wanted to see some people here. Let's say we're in Dubai. Let's say you wanted to swim across the Red Sea, or swim across the Persian Gulf, or swim somewhere. If you swim 75% of the way, what's going to happen? You're going to die. You're going to drown. So having a positive attitude and thinking you can do it and wanting it with all of your heart will get you 75% of the way, and then you die. Maybe you didn't want to hear this, but look, we're going to drown. What's the other 25%? The other 25% is the easiest of the two things. This is so easy to do, but yet we haven't done it yet. The other 25% is the skills to make it happen. Wanting something and being able to do it is two different things. So I say, I want to be a diamond. 75% of the way, yeah, I believe it. I have gold boards, I have fishing boards, I'm one with diamond. Wonderful. But we still need the skills to make it happen. Is that true?
Yes.
And when you have the skills, people will come to you. If you don't have the skills, nobody will want to follow you. I'll give you an example. I want to be a dentist. I really want to be a dentist. I mean, it's awesome. I just be a dentist. I'd be rich and have a big car. I just really want to be a dentist. You're my first patient. Now, I didn't go to dental school, but you're sitting in a chair, and I said, well, I've wanted to be a dentist all my life. I have my goals. This is what I'm doing. It's going to be awesome. I wonder how this drill thing works. How many people are going to stay in that chair? I hear when they find out I don't know what I'm doing, they're out there too, aren't they? And that's the problem. No matter how much you want this, you will have the skills to make it happen. For everyone here in the room, we got the 75% done. How cool is that? Would you like to spend the rest of the night on the 25%?
Yes.
It's the 25% that we don't have that keeps us from where we're going. So I'll just show you a real quick little ninja trick to get started so we can all see how cool this could be. So how many people are sitting next to somebody that will still talk to you? Grab somebody next to you, grab their hand, they'll be your partner. If nobody grabs your hand, then a bunch of us freeze. Let's just try our skills, okay? Let's pick something just a little bit difficult. We're going to invite somebody to look at our business. Is that a little difficult sometimes?
Yes.
Now I want you to imagine the person you're inviting, your partner, is a little bit intimidating. Maybe they might be an aunt or uncle that they're just trying to make money off of me. Yeah, they're just going to give me some beer, big deal. And you know, I changed your diapers when you were young. And I remember the last 4 things that you did turned out to be terrible. And, you know, these are people we're afraid to invite. So let's see how good we are on the tough ones. Because if we can invite the difficult ones, the easy ones, easy. So are you ready to test our skills?
Yes.
One person in each partnership, raise your hand. You'll be the smart one. Who's going to be the smart one? Who's going to be the smart partner? There's only 2 people voting. It can't take this long. Raise your hand if you're the smart one. Okay. You will be the one to do the invite. The other person will have to be the good-looking partner. Now, the smart partner will invite the good-looking partner and say, you know, please come to the meeting tonight. You know, I want to show you this opportunity, right? So should we do a couple examples first?
Yes.
All right, so I'm talking to my uncle, a little bit intimidated. Hello, uncle. You know, it's, I mean, you don't really have, you don't have to come. Why don't you look at this business and, you know, sell some stuff to fat people. And you have this gel that makes you go to the toilet a lot. And you can sell to your friends. Want to come? How am I doing?
Very good.
Halfway there? We see the problem, right?
Yes.
So, let's see how good we are. I'm going to ask you, 15 seconds is all it's going to take. Turn, invite your partner to a meeting, and if you're the partner, just listen to what they say. And when you listen, ask yourself, would somebody come on that invitation or not? So remember, your partner is somebody who's really scary, it's the worst one. They have part of the team. Alright? They're awful. Are you all ready? Turn to your partner and give them your best advice. Let's begin. We have our chance. do a survey. Let's see how good people are here tonight. By a show of hands, how many people here heard a really good invitation? 3.5. All right. Now, let's see. If we didn't hear a good invitation, would that hurt our business? Yes. We wouldn't even get started. So by a show of hands, how many people here wish you would have heard a good invitation? Alright? Or by a show of hands, how many people here just want a better partner? Alright, it's time for us to get better. Now remember, we did not have a bunch of guests at the last meeting because we did not know what to say, correct? Yeah. But we either fix it or not. Fix it or drown 75% of the way. So would tonight be the time to fix it? Yes. If you could learn how to invite people with no rejection, would that be okay? Yes. So let's learn how to do it. Because that's between us and where we need to be. Until we learn to talk like a diamond, we're never going to be a diamond, right? If we talk like a diamond, what are we going to become? If we invite like a diamond, what are we going to become? So we better start learning how to do that, or else we're never going to become a diamond. So I'll tell you the story of how we can invite people. There's a man named James from Toronto, Canada. He's a big-time consultant. So they're doing this big fundraising in Toronto, and he's in a room with 12 other executives. These are high-level executives. They eat their young, they fire people. And he says they're doing this fundraising, so just invite all your rich friends to the big fundraising dinner. And he looked up, and these 12 executives looked like they saw a ghost. He says, "Oh, what's wrong?" And they said, "Well, we don't want to call our friends." "Why not?" "Well, we're afraid." "What do you mean you're afraid? You fire people. You're young, you can't be afraid." "Well, we're afraid. What will our friends think if we invite them? Or what if they feel that, we're just taking advantage of our friendship? Or, that we're just trying to get them to donate? How are they going to feel?" And he said this. He said, these 12 execs, big, powerful people in their businesses, they're afraid. Now, if they are afraid, don't you think that maybe we should be afraid too? Yeah. And the reason they were afraid is they were good at their jobs and business, but they didn't know how to do the skill of inviting somebody. So he said this. You don't have to write this down. Just listen to how he answered it, and then we'll make it special for our business. He said to the 12 execs, he says, "You're afraid. Well, just call your friends and say this. Call your friends and say, I am perfectly comfortable with your decision if you want to come and support the fundraising or not. We'll still be friends, don't worry about it. But I was just uncomfortable inviting you and having you think that you weren't welcome." And then they all could call their friends. And none of their friends felt pushed upon, none of their friends felt guilty if they took it either way. So should we make it for our business here? To your friend, let's talk to your co-worker. Your co-worker, it's Thursday night, they're not at work. And you might say to your co-worker, "I'm going to a meeting tonight about having a part-time business. And I'm perfectly comfortable if you want to come with me or not. Maybe we could be in business together. That's up to you. But I'm just uncomfortable not inviting you." And then you find out a year or two later I retire and I'm sending you postcards for a cruise ship. So you have to stay at this job for the rest of your life. So here's the formula we're going to use. It's called comfortable and uncomfortable. You're going to tell them you're perfectly comfortable if they want to drink the gel or try the product. Or you're perfectly comfortable if they want to come to the meeting or build a business. Or perfectly comfortable if they want to meet your sponsor, but you are uncomfortable. So to your coworker, you can say, You know, tonight we have a business meeting. This guy named Kim's talking. It's made a fortune. And I'm perfectly comfortable if you want to come down to the meeting with me tonight or not. You know, that's strictly up to you. I'm just uncomfortable not inviting you and having you spend the rest of your life doing my work because I'm going to retire in a year with this business. So are you all ready? Should I use it for my product? All right, should we do one product one? So maybe you're talking to me. Then you say, Big Al, I'm perfectly comfortable with your decision, you know, to try the C9 or not. I mean, but whatever you decide is up to you. Even though you may have to buy bigger clothes. But it's just uncomfortable not letting you know that you can be in shape instead of being a fat slob the rest of your life. All right, slightly exaggerated, but how many people here got comfortable and uncomfortable? So to your Auntie, I'm perfectly comfortable if you'd like to try the C9, you know, and kickstart the weight loss or not. You know, it's up to you. It's just uncomfortable not letting you know that we have it in stock now, and it'll be a whole lot easier than, you know, jogging in the hot weather. Easy as that. Are y'all ready? Yeah. We're going to invite our person next to us to try some product or come to the meeting or sit down with a cup of coffee with Kim. Are y'all ready? Yeah. Comfortable, uncomfortable? Let's give it a try. Let's begin. Well, was that fun? So let's ask a question to the group. About 15 minutes ago, we had a chance to try our invite. And I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was it? Alright, maybe not so good. We learned what to say, and was our invite better this time?
Yes.
Were we more comfortable?
Yes.
Was the person we talked to more comfortable?
Yes.
It's kind of a win-win, isn't it? And how many people here think we picked a really hard one to talk to, didn't we? Not a close friend. So this was the hardest it could possibly be. To a close friend, it's going to be easy. To my best friend, I'd say, you know, hey John, I started a part-time business. I'd like you to work with me. I mean, but I'm perfectly comfortable if you don't want to or not. It's just uncomfortable not inviting you because it would be so much more fun to work together. Or it's uncomfortable not inviting you and having you find out a year later when I retire and you're still working a job. Or if my best friend works, it's uncomfortable not letting you know because a year from now I leave here and then you'll have to do 2 jobs. So for every person here, how many people have overcome your fear of inviting? Could we talk to almost anybody?
Yes.
And we only did this a little bit. We could get a lot better, couldn't we?
Yes.
So it's what we don't know that holds us back. Because if we knew it, we would be there. So if you're sitting here and you're not where you want to be, that just means there's some more stuff we have to learn. It doesn't mean the world is hard or it's difficult or impossible. It just means that we haven't learned that Airbus 380 is on the ground with the wheels still on. We just need to have more information to make it work. How many people now believe that you could do this business if we learn some cool stuff? Even if you're shy, you can learn to do this business. So, when you're ready to learn something a little bit more complicated, that's pretty easy. So this one's going to be like 2 or maybe 3 sentences. But this will show you how you can get some business right away. Just take the volunteers, no rejection, get an instant yes decision under the radar. They don't even know that you did it to them. And close right away. How many people here would like to learn how to do that?
Yes.
Now, the only reason we're not doing it now is we haven't learned it, but we're going to learn it now, and then we can say, a little bit closer to where we want to be. So, in order to understand this, we have to know a little bit about how to talk to people. Now, how many people here know how to talk to people? You've done it before, come on. The I've ever received in network marketing, the worst, was when I started. I'm a shy, nerdy, personality-free, charisma bypass, socially challenged engineer. Should not be let out in public. And they told me, go out and talk to people. What were they thinking? That would be like the worst advice ever. I left dead bodies everywhere I went. Everybody I talked to said no. Because I went out and talked to them. You see, there's talking to people, social chit-chat. But that's really different than commercial selling. Very, very different. Now, we learned how to talk to people in school, but we did not learn commercial selling skills anywhere from our parents, or job, or school. So we don't know that yet. But once we learn commercial talking skills, then it's easy. So talking to people, go out and just talk to tons and tons of people. This might mean we go nowhere because we don't know what's going on. But if we talk with very special words and language, you're going to build your business quickly, and you can do it in just a couple minutes a day. How many people here are pressed for time during the week? Yeah, we don't have are you talking to people who say, I don't have time to do the business? Well, yes, they do if they can do it in just a couple minutes a day, and I'm going to show you how. So the first thing to understand is we are in the decision business, right? If they say no, how much commission do you make? What's the bonus on no? What's the bonus on people that almost joined? Is there a commission on people who want to think it over? Not make a yes decision to buy or join the businesses are creating volume, right? You and I are in the yes decision business. We're not in the health and wellness business. The company does. We don't make any of the products, right? We don't ship the products. We're not the doctor on the phone in the middle of the day. That's their business. They can do everything perfectly well, except one thing, and that is to get people to make a yes decision. So they say, hey guys, here's the deal. We'll do everything. We even have a website. We'll make videos. The only thing we want you to do is get people to say yes. So for everyone here, we are not in the health and wellness business, the company is. We are in the business of getting people to say what word? Yes. So are we all clear we're in the yes decision business? Now, if you're in the yes decision business, what would be the most important thing you'd like to know? If I get people to say yes. I mean, you could study the benefits of Apple, but that's not going to get people to say yes, correct? You can memorize the compensation plan, but that's not going to get people to say yes, is it? So I want to know how people say yes. Well, they have a choice of yes and no. But how do they make that choice? Do they teach us in school how people make up their mind? No. So let's learn now. I'm going to show you a little story here. How many people here have ever sat down with somebody, gave them some product sample, rubbed some cream on the back of their hand, had to taste something, showed them a picture of the field, showed them a video, some slides, explained the compensation plan, talked about your personal experience, talked about their life product, and then at the end, so what's your decision? How many people have done that? Alright. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Think about this honestly. Because you and I are out there talking to people in real life, right? How does that work? It's horrible, isn't it? Sometimes you spend an hour talking to people and say, I need to think about it, I need to think it over, and just something doesn't seem right, does it? Now, instinctively we feel something isn't right. We feel icky, sometimes like a salesman, and their eyes are rolling, and they're watching TV while we're talking to them, and something's not right. We can't put our finger on it. We just don't know what's wrong. So should we find that out?
Yes.
Right. So think of the situation. Sit down, give her a point, do a presentation, and again, yes or no? That's what we do. Now we know that doesn't work, but we do it over and over again, hoping it does. Watch your stupid listening. So we're going to have to do something different. Watch this, because we have to learn how people make up their mind. What's the latest, coolest movie you've seen? Thor. How many people here have seen Thor? 3 people. Okay, what's another good? You guys have movies here. What's the latest movie that most people here have seen? No time to watch movies, huh? Alright, we're going to pick my granddaughter's favorite one, Beauty and the Beast, the remake. How many people here saw Beauty and the Beast? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I didn't, but they did. Anyway, I'm going to go over to your home. Are you ready? Watch this. Hey, my granddaughter said Beauty and the Beast is awesome. Let's go down and check out the movie. Right? So we run down to the movie theater and we buy a ticket. How much is a ticket here to buy? 35. Per person?
Yes.
Oh, sense of humor. Okay. So we give them 35. And we go inside and we see some popcorn and snacks at value prices. So we get some milk does for the dairy group, occasionally some popcorn, extra oils and sodas, and then we sit down. And is it like in the United States where you pay for the movie, you sit down, and then they start showing you commercials?
Yes.
So they show us commercials for 20 minutes, so we're pretty angry. Then okay, everybody in the theater's angry, so let's show them some previews of the next movie. So they show us some previews of the next movie, and really, really loud, so we can't hear it. And after 10 or 20 minutes of previews, they finally start the movie, Beauty and the Beast. Now, when it starts, it's awesome. Disney does a great job. For the next 90 minutes, we're swept away into the world of Disney. We love it. At the end of the 90 minutes, man, that was just really awesome. I was worth it, 35 and all the snacks we bought. And at the end of the movie, we get up to leave, and all the credits come down the screen. You know, they say who made the movie, who sang the song, shot on location, who brought the donuts. Everybody gets their name there, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. Won an award somewhere, blah, blah, blah. Are we all familiar with that experience?
Yes.
Now, here's the question that will change our lives. At what point in this whole scenario, from the time I killed the mic, from the time I knocked on the door, always the last credits come down the street, at what point did we make our final decision? To see that. So from the moment I went over and said, let's go see the movie, we made our final decision. Is that true?
Yes.
Before we bought the ticket, before we bought the snacks, before we saw the ads, before the previews, before we even seen the presentation, before we even seen the movie, and before we saw all the awards and the directors and who did what and all the famous people, right? Right at the beginning. So here's the bottom line. Humans make final yes or no decisions instantly at the beginning, before they heard the name of the company, before they saw the video, before we rubbed some cream on the back of our hand, before the comp plan. They have already made their final yes or no decision before any of that has happened. How many people here find that like weird? Alright. designed is to make final decisions before the information. You say, really? Alright. So, if I call them and says, hey, I heard there's this movie with a bunch of snakes and spiders scaring small children, do you want to come? How many people have already made up your mind? Before you heard the director, before you've seen it down in the awards, before you saw the previews, how many people have already made up your mind? People make up their mind right away. Very quick. Ladies, you know who you are. Ladies. Have you ever sometime in your lifetime met a young man and made up your mind about that young man within the first few seconds? Now, men, is that fair? No, they haven't heard a presentation yet. But it's what women do in real life. And ladies, if you're sitting next to a man right now, turn the man, look in the eyes, and that's how it works. Humans make the final decision before all of the stuff we do. They do it before the information. So let me prove it to you, because some of you are looking at me, I don't know about that. All right. For everyone here, how many people here entered into a relationship or got married before you had all the information? Some people twice. Okay, now. Watch this. YouTube video. How many seconds into the YouTube video before you make your final decision if you want to watch it or not? 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. True? Wow, how strange is that? And I can do examples all night, but we don't have much time here tonight. But the way the human mind works is it makes up its mind right away. Would you like to know how it does it? Bad experiences in the past. Right, let's try this. How many people here have ever met a salesman and had a bad experience? Is that possible?
Yes.
And you kind of remember that too, don't you?
Yeah.
And it forms a program in your mind to that was a really bad experience. Now, let's see what happens. Your phone rings right now, you pick it up, and it's a salesman. How long does it take you to make up your mind?
1 second.
1 second. Before they even said the name of the company. Is that true?
Yes.
And how we did it was the back of our mind said, well, it sounds like the salesman. And I don't like salesmen because that was a bad thing that happened earlier. No way. And that's how the humans make up their mind. So for everyone here who felt you had to memorize all the benefits of ALO, no. And to know the difference between an assistant supervisor and a supervisor, no. That's not how they make up their mind. Now, it's important, we learn that, right? But it's not how people make up their mind. Here is the scenario. We meet people, they decide to listen to us or not, right? They make up their mind yes or no. If the answer is no, we're done. But the answer is yes, we can give the information like the name of the company, the products, and everything. How cool is that? You and I will only give presentations to people that have already said yes. Now, does that sound like a lot more fun?
Yes.
It's going to save us a lot of time?
Yes.
So people make up their mind instantly on no information. So you're still looking at me strange. All right, let's try this. How many people here ever invited somebody to an opportunity meeting and they did not show up? Does that happen?
Yes.
Have they made a decision?
Yes.
And what was their decision? Based on how much information? Figure it out. We see it all the time, every day of our lives. That's how the human mind works. Now, we're professionals, we're learning that so we get closer, right? Closer to where we want to be. So I don't want to spend much time on this, but by a show of hands, how many people here totally got it, 100%, that people make up their mind right away? Well, let's just find out. Do they make up their mind right away if they want to be healthy or not?
Yeah.
If they want to look good or not?
Yeah.
If they want more money or not? Oh. Why do we want to waste an hour talking to them before we ask what it is? Because we think the information we give them is going to make a difference. No, it's not. It's not going to make a difference. Let's find out what it is right away. So, once you know that's how people make a decision, this will make sense. It's called tiny questions. It's two, and now we're going to make it a little bit better for the third sentence. So it's really just two sentences. Is all you have to do to have instant business, instant money in your pocket like that. So the first thing is, we're going to ask the people we're talking to a question. Now, should we ask an invasive question or something kind of safe? Let's go with safe. Let me show you what an invasive question is. These are questions that make people feel icky, kind of scared, don't want to do business with us. Things like, so how much money's in your bank account? Or what time do your children leave for school in the morning? These are scary questions, aren't they? So we want to ask safe questions. Something really easy, and we like to get a little yes answer to it. Okay? So let's just try this. Do you ever get heartburn? And if somebody has heartburn and they say yes, no, that's not too strange, right? Or do you ever get an indigestion after a spicy meal? Or do you ever struggle, with your weight trying to eat all the skinny food that doesn't fill us up? Yeah, they're going to agree with that, aren't they? So we're going to pick an easy question they agree with. And then, we're going to say something really magical with special words. I'll show you the whole thing and I'll break it down straight outward. So, let's see how quick people make up their minds. So, at the buffet, I'm carrying a big plate of food. The person next to me is carrying 2 big plates of food. And I say, you have trouble dieting also? They go, oh yeah. I said, well, would it be okay if we could fix that? What are they going to say? Yeah. So what decision are they making? Yeah, I want to fix it. We're done. How about this? Oh, at work, I say, do you hate your job as much as I do? This man, the dream sucking vampire boss is taking little bits of my brain out every day, turning me into a human zombie. I hate this job. And I say, would it be okay if we just fire the boss? What are they going to say? Yes. Yeah. Or I might say, would you like it if we had more money every month? What would they say? Yeah. Or would it be okay if we had a cup of coffee with Kim and my friend and he can show us out? Yeah. Your lips ever get dry and cracked here with this dry weather here nearby? Would it be okay if you never had to worry about that again? Hate putting chemicals in your children's mouth twice a day when they brush their teeth? Yeah, I hate doing that. Would it be okay if we use natural toothpaste instead? Yeah. How many people here are thinking, what's going on? Why does this work so good? Well, I'm going to show you the formula. And the first part we know, right? Ask a question that's really easy. They're going to say yes to. And the second part is going to ask them for a yes or no decision. If they want to fix it or not. But how we ask it is the secret. We're going to start the second question with these 5 words. If you're taking notes, write them down. It's called, would it be okay if? Now, these 5 magic words almost guarantees that we're going to get a yes decision as long as it's reasonable. Because we're professionals. We don't want to take a chance. We don't want rejection. We want a yes decision every time. So if you say, would it be okay if, people naturally want to say yes as long as it's reasonable. I'm going to show you how quick the human mind makes decisions when you say, would it be okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Now don't write anything down, but just feel the back of your brain and how quick the back of your brain says, yeah. So let's try this. Would it be okay if you could fire the boss? Would it be okay if you could stay home with your children and still get a full-time paycheck? Yeah. Would it be okay if you could retire 10 years early at full pay? Yeah. Would it be okay if you had a 5-day weekend instead of a 2-day weekend? Yeah. Would it be okay if you could work 3 weeks out of the month and get paid for 4? Yeah. Would it be okay if you take a 6-month holiday twice a year? Would it be okay if you're quicker at math? Would it be okay if you never had to show up for work again? Yes. Would it be okay if you earn more money part-time than your boss did full-time? Would it be okay if you could kickstart your weight loss so it worked automatic? Would it be okay if you could detoxify your body quickly so you feel better? Would it be okay if you could live longer and use all your children's inheritance? Would it be okay if you can keep wrinkles away an extra 20 years? Would it be, how are you doing? How many people here feel that if you use the words would it be okay at first, it's much easier to say yes? So as professionals, we are going to use this, what we just learned. It's closer. So I'm going to ask you to put together these 2 questions. We're going to start with a very easy one that they're going to say yes to, and would it be okay? So let's try a couple. Do you hate commuting to work? So they're going to say, yeah, this traffic's so terrible. Would it be okay if you could work out of your home instead? What are they going to say? Yes. No, all we have to do is explain the details. They've already made the decision. Like feeling healthier? Would it be okay if I showed you how? Ever feel tired in the afternoon? Would it be okay if you could have a healthy energy drink to fix that? Yeah. Do your children brush their teeth? Would it be okay if you had natural toothpaste so you wouldn't have to put chemicals inside your mouth? Do you hate laying in bed at night listening to your skin wrinkle? Would it be okay if you used our nighttime moisturizer to fix that? Do your lips ever get dry and chapped, especially in the summer? Yeah. Would it be okay if you had a natural lip gloss that protected them? How are you doing? Great. Do you like holidays? Yes. Would it be okay if somebody else paid for them? Yes. Do we have enough examples? Yes. We have how many products you have here? 6,000? There's a lot, right? You have plenty of products. You have all kinds of things about the opportunity. Pick something that's a very easy question and then say, would it be okay if And the rest of the question just fills out itself. It's almost natural. Did you try it one time here? Everybody ready? Turn to your partner, and if you can't think what to say, turn to your partner and say, would you like to practice? Would it be okay if you go first? So are we ready? Let's grab our partner and let's try. Let's begin. So, do you think we can do this starting tomorrow? Or maybe at this evening? So, do we understand how these two questions work? They're called tiny questions because they're tiny. They're small. But, do you think we can get better? Sure, we haven't even started. But we're going to be even more pro. We're going to double close them because we're just awesome people. So one close isn't enough for us. No, we like to do two just because it just feels good. So would you like to see the second close?
Yes.
So, you talk to me and say some, Big Al. You find that, that you and I are just too busy to diet. Oh, yeah, that's it, me. So, would it be okay if you lose weight just by changing what you have for breakfast? Yeah. Well, let's fix that now. Anybody pick up that close?
Yeah.
So what's the second close we're going to say? Let's fix that now. Let's see how that works. Tired of the dry air drying out our skin? Oh yeah. Would it be okay if you had a moisturizing program that kept your skin young? Sure. Let's fix that now. Now, if you don't like saying let's fix that now, you can say let's sort it out. Or let's get it sorted. Let's say, yeah, hate to eat. Yeah. Would it be okay if you work out at your home instead? Oh, yeah. Well, let's fix that now. How many people start feeling like, oh, yeah, we got this one wired? They have no chance. This is almost unfair. This could be illegal. So, hate this job as much as I do? Oh man, I hate it worse than you do. Would it be okay if we maybe have lunch with Jules and he can show us maybe a business we can get into? Yeah. Let's sort that out now. Let's fix it. Call Jules and set the appointment. So what we're going to do is add one more sentence at the end. Let's fix that now. Or let's sort it out now. Now that works for somebody that's very, very agreeable, but how many people here know somebody that's a jerk? Or a skeptic? Or a relative, even worse yet, right? So let's see what happens to them. For these people, we're going to use a different set of words. If it's not quite sure, because they're skeptical or mean or they just have family problems. Let's see how that one sounds. Hate your job? Yeah, the hours are just terrible. Would it be okay if you could earn more money so you wouldn't have to have that job? Well, I don't know. So one of these MLMs, things, whatever. And then we say, well, would you like to know more? Yes or no? They say, no, I don't know anymore. We're done. If they say yes, they're closed. Nobody's going to say yes if the answer is no. They don't want additional information torture. So if you run across some people that are just a little bit skeptical, you say, well, do you want to know more? Or, will this work for you? And just that quick, it is all over. All the grief of our entire sales career is gone. So the person next to you, you can say, I hate this this dry desert area. Yeah, everybody checks out. And I said, yeah, well, would it be okay if you can use natural aloe to protect it? Well, that makes sense. What are we going to say? Let's fix it now. We'll sort it out. Person sitting next to you, and you say, long day at work today? Yeah, long day, you know. But would it be okay if maybe you could change careers? I would love changing careers, but it might be one of these weird things. I don't know. I gotta be careful. I gotta talk to the dogs in the backyard. What are we gonna say? We'd like no more. Well, yeah, I would. See, listen. Nobody's gonna ask for additional information towards you if it's a no. So in, 10 seconds? We have our entire sales career sorted out. You know, we're only talking to the volunteers who are going to buy your toy. So this one of your products we haven't talked about yet. What? Move. What does it move?
It's for joint pain.
Okay. So it's like moving anything through the intestines or anything. So, move forever. All right. So, what would you say to somebody limping? So, how long have you been limping? 5 years I've been dragging this leg. Well, would it be okay if you do something good for your body so the body can handle stuff better? Yeah. What are you going to say next? What else do you have up here? We haven't talked about Vital 5. And what's a Vital 5?
It's for with surgeries or anything, it will give you 5 essential nutrients to make sure that your body gets what's missing. So to get you back on up and moving,
Drink the vitality back.
5 vital essential body nutrients.
We may want to work on this, right? So what does the 5 thing do?
You want to know more?
We're talking
You want to know more?
It's a combination of 5 products that are essential for everyday health.
Oh, all right. So maybe you say, just back from surgery? What are they going to say? Yeah, look at that. So, would it be okay if you rebuild your body?
Yeah.
If they say no?
Nobody would say so.
Right. You're done, right?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, you're done. It's not a big deal. You don't have to show anything else. You first want to know if they want to do it or not. If they do, then we give them all the information they ever want. But not before. So, are you all ready? I want you to pick your partner and you're going to invite them to an opportunity meeting or maybe talk to them about the business. We're going to ask them a real easy question first, correct? We'll do one more example because some people are questioning. What's one product we haven't talked about yet? We talked about all.
Aloe vera gel.
Aloe vera gel. And what does that do? Everything. Okay. So, question number 1. So, what did you do last night? Went out for Indian biryani late at night, and I had a beer or 2 or 3 quarter. And I stayed up all night with indigestion and heartburn. What's the 5 words you're going to say next? Would it be okay if you could do that and didn't have all that heartburn problem? What are you going to say?
Yes.
And then we're going to say? Let's sort it out now. What do you mean? Well, you drink 2 ounces of this juice in the morning, 2 ounces at night. Done. What else do you need to know? Well, what's in it? Juice. You want to get rid of the heartburn now? You want to still be able to have it? And I don't know how we did this for all these years, or we just did our presentation first instead of doing our presentation later. So are you all ready? Grab your partner, ask them 2 questions, and then just wrap up by saying, let's sort it out, let's fix that now, whatever it takes. Y'all ready? Let's begin. Are you ready now? Okay. I have a question in the front of the room. It said, people from my country, I say, would it be okay if, and you want to fix that now, they're going to say, no. So why do you think people say no? Because they mean no. That's why they chose the word. No means no. And that means it's not for them at this time. You know, they've had some bad experiences. They have some prejudices. Their mother dropped them on their head. They tried something, it didn't work out. Their response was mean to them, and it's no. Now, if we don't have anybody else to talk to, we're going to say, well, what do I do for these people? Maybe I'll just give them a 1-hour presentation. It's not going to change, is it? It's going to be pretty hard. So the reason we get upset and try to work with these people is because we have nobody else to talk to. Now I'm going to ask you, if somebody says, no, it's not for me, and you had 5 other people that you know you could talk to that would be interested, how long would you spend with that person?
1 minute.
Any time spent with them, you'd be missing somebody else. But the reason we spend time there is we don't know how to talk to somebody else. So if we have the ability, if we had learned the skill of how to talk to unlimited people, if somebody said no, we say, all right, I suppose if I worked with them really hard and put them on a sofa and psychoanalyze them for 5 years and carry their limp body with me for 5 years, and get them across and they could sign that distributor application. But the problem is we miss some people on the way. Now, if you're new, you don't know anybody, or if you're shy like me and afraid to talk to people, this is what we're going to do, because we already know this person. Until we learn how to talk to unlimited people. So, what do you want to do? Learn to talk to unlimited people, or do you want to carry dead bodies? Yeah. So for that, leave them alone. And here's what's really interesting. When you don't, well, if you allow people to say no, some interesting dynamics happen. Number 1, the reason most people come up with an excuse, it's a pyramid, I don't want to hear about it, it's bad, is because they are afraid of a 1-hour presentation. They're very afraid of it. They say, man, if I, so they're going to say no. But if you approach them by not trying to make a 1-hour presentation, most of those excuses go away. So let's get some unlimited prospects here. I'm going to give you a real easy question. How do you like the job? Now, is that pretty much rejection free? I think you just ask somebody, how do you like the job? So, if you were to ask everybody you met, how do you like the job? That wouldn't be such a bad deal, would it? Now, if they didn't like the job, they said, well, I hate my job, what 5 words would you say next? Would it be okay if you had one more option? How about that? So, we're going to meet unlimited people. How many people you meet have the job? Everybody, right? So how's the job? You like the job? No, not so much. Would it be okay if you had one more option? Yeah. I'd like another option. All right, well, let's sort that out. Maybe we can sit down and talk to Kim and he can give us one more option. That doesn't sound so scary, does it? Let's think about this. Just ask somebody, how do you like your job? If you did that once a day, that took how long? 5 seconds, 10 seconds if you stutter, need notes. How do you like your job? 5 or 10 seconds, right? Once a day? Anybody can fit that in. How many days in a year here in Dubai? Quite a few, right? So if you ask 365 people if they like their job, how many would say, not so much? A bunch. And somebody said, I love my job. You could ask somebody else that day, couldn't you? There's no law against that. You and I have a limited process. We're just going to take the volunteers. So instead of trying to sell people who don't want it because they have a bad experience and have trauma and bad programs, just take the volunteer. And when you say, wouldn't it be okay if you had one more option? There's nothing wrong with that, is there? And now you're in conversation. Every person here could probably have 365 people to talk to, because somebody said, I love my job, just ask somebody else that day, right? Out of 365 people that hate their job, even if you were incompetent and didn't know how to press play on video, how many people here think you might get quite a few folks? Got to be assistant manager or manager, right? Just like that. The only thing holding us back from doing that is we did not know the words to say that were safe. Now we know the words to say that are safe. Now, if the person that said no from your country happened to be your mother, I'd spend more time, okay? But if it's somebody you don't know, I'm not sure I want to carry them for 5 years. You can run with 1,000 people, but you can only carry one. So if you're dragging people behind you, trying to, I've invited them every week for 52 weeks to come to the meeting, take a hint. They're trying to tell us no in the most nicest way. Do we all have a plan where we could at least get lots of retail customers? Lots of people come to the meetings, lots of people we can just sit down to and talk to right away? And the 5 magic words are what? Would it be okay if? Use those words, match them. And people say, well, I didn't write them down, and I said, would it? They start changing the words, and it doesn't work quite so well. So far, we know how to invite people, correct? We know how to help people get decisions right on the spot. And you're thinking, what if they make an objection? What if they later on ask some tough questions? Should we cover that? Yes. And the reason I'm going to do it is you won't get very much of this because we're only taking volunteers, right? We're not trying to sell people, we're only taking volunteers. And for the folks from your country, there's an interesting psychological thing that happens. People will want it more if you don't want them. People want what they can't have. Watch this. You have 3 kids, and you tell them, don't go in that room. What room do those 3 kids desperately want to go in? So as soon as we stop caring if they join or not, they're more apt to come to us. Because they don't feel pressured, they don't feel we're begging and needing them, or don't feel like we're trying to sell them. So I tell people, they say, well, don't you need like a really strong mental physique thing to be confident? No. If you just let them know it's an option and you don't care if they take it or not, they respect you and they say, man, I want to go with this person. They seem to have their act together. So let me tell you about people. When I got started, I was terrible. Do you think I said the wrong words? Every time. And people look at me and, well, let me tell you about people. No matter how good of a presentation I give, no matter how laminated the flip chart was, no matter how good I said, they would not join because I was not answering the right question. So for the first year and 10 months, everybody I talked to said no. That's a lot of people. And I had a perfect 90-minute presentation that was awesome. You would see that scene, wow. And went join. Now upline for me was a guy named Bob. Bob, well, let me tell you about Bob. I do a 90-minute presentation, people would say no, right? Here's what Bob would do. Bob would have the prospects and he'd go, well, and they said, we'd like to join. He said, the next set of prospects, and he'd say, well, let me show you. No, it's okay, Bob, we'd like to join. I hated Bob's guts. I want to poke my eyes out. I spent 90 minutes with these people, nothing. Bob would say, well, they would want to join. How many people here think Bob knew something that I didn't know? How many people here think Bob had a secret and I didn't know the secret? How many people here would like to be like Bob? Man, I'd want to be like Bob. But Bob just go, well, they want to join. So would you like to know Bob's secret?
Yes.
Bob knew this. Bob knew that people hated their lives. Wake up in the morning, go to work, go to bed. Wake up in the morning, go to work, go to bed. Wake up in the morning, go to work, go to bed. Wake up in the morning, die. But, you know, people hate their lives. They are desperate for a plan. Now, they don't have a plan or else they would have taken it, correct? They don't have any plans, so they're desperate for a plan, and they're looking for somebody with a plan. And I'm thinking, that's me. Who knows where they are going? It's me. And has the skills to take them along safely. Oh, that wasn't me. They took one look at me and said, if I go on Big Al's journey, I'm going to die. I'll never get there safely. He's a nice guy. He wants it so badly, but I'll die with it. They took one look at Bob. And there's someone but Bob. They took one look at Bob and said, man, I don't care where Bob goes. I'm going with him because it's going to be safe. Because Bob had the skills. So would you like to be like Bob?
Yes.
Then you're going to have to talk like Bob. And do you know how Bob talked? Here's how Bob talked. Hate your job? Yeah. Would it be okay if you had a career where you make better money? Yeah. And then he would say, let's sort it out. And I didn't get this at all. I thought it was something about my silly presentation. If you can talk like Bob, people will feel confident. Because the only thing they want to know, they don't know anything about ingredients, they don't know anything about confidence. The only thing they want to know is if I go on your journey with you, will I ride safely? And you only have to talk good. You only have to be confident for about the first 20 seconds. Because by the end of 20 seconds, they're already made up their mind. How many people here feel that you can live the first 20 seconds? Which we have, right? So in the first 20 seconds time, they've already made up their snap decision if they want to go on our journey or not. After that, it's a lot easier. Everything happens in the beginning. If the answer is yes, the presentation. If you can't figure it out, they'll help you. They said, well, I remember the name of the company. I wrote down something. They said, I see it here in the literature. They'll help you. All they want to know is, will they ride safely? How many people here are going to start talking like Bob? Now, let's talk about Kim. Let's talk about him right now. So we can talk about it. Now, is Kim taller, more handsome, more energetic, speaks better English, or do you think maybe Kim just says the right words? And when they take a look at Kim, do they have a feeling if I go on your journey, Kim, I'll get there safely? Yes. So now we see how people make a decision. We don't have to worry about all that other stuff. That's a fact that they're going to learn in training after they make that mental yes decision. If you do it this way, you'll get very few objections, but I know you're scared of objections because I'm scared of objections too. So what I'm going to do is show you how to handle objections. Not because you'll need it, but because if you know how to handle objections, you won't be afraid to talk to people. They won't come up very often, but if they do come up, would you like to just crush them like a grape with no rejection? So let's learn how to do it. It's going to make us more confident so we look like Bob. We talk like Bob. If you want to be a diamond, you got to talk like what? Like a diamond. So let's go. So let's do a couple of objections here. What objections just scare you to death?
Is it M1 left?
Is it M1? All right, what else? Pyramid, what else?
How much have you made?
How much you made?
Other sales things.
Other sales things.
Some people, they don't trust the product.
It's probably too expensive. They don't have any money to join.
Is everybody doing it?
I don't know anybody.
Don't know anybody.
No time.
Look on. Oh, you guys are good. So we have a lot of them here. I'm going to give you a basic template how to handle this, so you can handle most of them with just one template. Now there's some other ones that won't fit. Let's just do one that won't fit, just to try how easy it is. If somebody says your products are too expensive, judging from the list of your faces, you've heard that one. And judging from the list of your faces, you don't like that one. And the reason we don't like it is we don't know how to handle it, right? So can I just give you a couple examples? You're going to have to use your own judgment, but I'll show you that there are things that you can say. So they say, well, your aloe vera is a lot more expensive than the stuff at the store, and I saw it online, and I don't know, it's a lot of money to revitalize, and that, you know, blah, 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 blah. So, why are your products so expensive then, huh? Well, what can we say? Let's try this. They said, so why are your products so expensive then, huh? And so, well, the company wanted to make a less expensive product. But they know it wouldn't work. And they didn't want to rip you off. They want to give you something that would actually be a good value for you. That wasn't so hard, was it? Well, I don't know if I should spend all that money for your health products every month. Ever hear that one?
Yes.
So, hey, simple. I understand. You can save a lot of money on health products by simply dying early. Depends who you're talking to, right? But look how much money they can save on health products if they died early. The savings would be immense, wouldn't it? So some of them need some special ones, but let's use a template first so we have a way of talking to people. When somebody brings up an objection, the first thing we're going to do is agree with them. Now, why should we agree with people? Number one, because that objection might be very legitimate. We don't know what happened to them in their life, what experiences they have. So we are going to agree with their objection. So agree with it, yes, agree. The reason is if we disagree, we lose. So our only choice is agree. Here's what happens if you disagree. If you disagree with their objection, oh no, that's not true. And they get defensive, they put up a wall, and while we're giving them all the good reasons they're wrong, they're not listening to us. They're just thinking, what am I going to say next as soon as you shut up? So all hearing goes off. So once you disagree with them, all hearing goes off, done. So the only choice we have, if we want any communication, is to agree. So they say, well, I don't have any money to join. And what are we going to say? Of course. How many people are going to say, of course? Of course. So I want to show you the feeling you get. I want your partner to go, well, I don't have any money. And you're going to say, of course. All right, just give it a try. Alright, did that feel good? Here's what happens. If you say, of course, they say, wait a minute, you agree with me. There's no reason for me to come up with any more proof. You agree with me. And I like people who agree with me. And I appreciate that you agree with me. I don't have to think of any more excuses. But since I don't have to think of any more excuses, I don't know what else to do with my mind. I can just listen to you. So when we say of course, they're going to say, finally somebody listened to me. I like people who listen to me. It's not some salesman trying to push it down my throat. Would that relax your aunt, your boss, the meanest prospect? So the first thing we're going to do is say, what 2 words? Of course. Here's what's next. In order to build trust or rapport in people's minds, when you talk to them, we do that by telling them something they believe already. We have to tell people a fact that they believe. And the way the human mind works is they decide whether to believe you or not with some programs in the back of their mind. The programs in the back of their mind says, if you and I think the same, we believe the same facts, I can trust you. I can believe you. So we're going to say, of course, and tell them a fact, and that will build trust. Fair enough? So we're going to say, of course you don't have any money. And they're going to say, wow, you speak the truth. You and I think the same. That is unbelievable. We're joined the hip, built in mind belt. I just can't believe that we think the same. I can trust your judgment. So turn to your partner and say, of course you don't have any money. But we're not amateurs. No. We're pros, right? We're going all the way to the diamond, correct? We're going to tell them 2 facts in a row. If we tell them 2 facts in a row, we're going to put them into a deep hypnotic trance. They're going to say, oh, wow, you and I, we're Siamese twins. So here's what we're going to say. Of course you don't have any money. That is why I am talking to you now. Now, let's think about the prospect. Of course. Oh, you agree with me. Somebody listens. Of course you don't have any money? Absolutely. You're right. I don't have any money. That's totally true. And that's why you're, oh yeah, you are talking to me now. Unbelievable. Let's go over here. We'll tell them 3 facts. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, of course you don't have any money. That's why I'm talking to you now. I mean, you don't want to be that way for the rest of your life. You're right. I don't want to be that way for the rest of my life without any money. So after telling them 3 facts in a row, we're soul brothers, soul sisters. That's done. And then we're going to command them to get started. And this all it's going to take is less than 10 seconds. So in less than 10 seconds, we're going to take them from, oh, I don't have any money, I can't join you. Let's figure out how to actually get started now. So here's the words I'm going to use. I don't have any money. Well, of course you don't have any money. That's why I'm talking to you now. I mean, you don't want to be that way for the rest of your life with no money. So let's sit down now and figure out a way to get you started. So that's where it's our, so let's sit down now, even though we're sitting, and figure out a way to get you started. Now everybody here knows you can get somebody started, right? Even if they don't have any money, they can give a party, they can take some pre-orders. They get some stupid lava lamp they have on there that they never use. They use their credit. Yeah, many things they can do. That's not for mine. But how many people here see in about 10 seconds time, boom, because we know what to say? So are you ready? I'll do it one more time, see if you remember the words. So somebody says, hey, money, what are we going to say? Of course, you don't have any. That is why you don't want to be that way. So let's sit down now and let me get you started. How many of you here think you can pull that off? All right, so turn to your partner right now. And I want your partner to go, oh, money. Give him your best shot. Let's begin. Now, 10 minutes ago, when I said I don't have any money, most people look like this. But how many people now can handle that objection in your sleep? It's easy, right? No big deal. Totally comfortable with it, is that true? Yes. And because we don't fear it, they won't bring it up. And somehow, if we fear an objection, they just know. Just like taking a dog to a vet, they just know. So, can we all handle that objection? Yes. As a matter of fact, you're going to be so good at that objection, you'll end up doing this. Somebody says, yeah, I'd like to join. You say, no, don't you want to say you don't have any money? It's just so easy. Are we confident? Yes. Are we starting to talk like a diamond? Yes. All right, we have the motivation, right? 75%. The last 25% is getting our act together. We've got to learn the skills. So I'm sure most of you have a plan for learning the skills, but let's take this a step further. Are you ready? I'm going to ask you a question, and we'll see how good we are here tonight. How many people are ready for an intelligence test? All right. What if I were to say to you, I don't have any time? What are we going to say? Of course you don't have any time. That is why I'm talking to you now. You don't want to be that way for the... So let's sit down now and figure out... That wasn't so hard, was it? Are you ready? Turn to your partner, and your partner's going to say, I don't have any time. Let's give it a try. Because you're going to learn a system in our training, we'll show you how to get lots of people so you never have to worry about that. That wasn't so hard, was it? Of course. You could use this for, well, I don't know, I don't think I can do it. Well, of course you don't know how to do it. The company doesn't expect you to know how to do it before you even start. That's why we have a training and you get me a sponsor. So let's sit down now and get you started. So we get to the training session so you learn how to do it. We could use a version of this template for just about everything. But it won't work for all of them, so let's take care of one that you hear that you're afraid of, because we all are afraid of this one. And that is, I need to think it over. Yeah. So let's need to think it over, yeah.
I need to speak to my doctor first.
You need to see my doctor, yeah. So, let's start with that. I need to think it over because that's the most popular one. I don't know if we'll get through every objection tonight, but let's start with this. I need to talk to somebody else. I don't think we'll get, that's a whole another series, but how many people here are familiar with the 4 color personalities? Okay, that didn't go over well. But do you think that's one of the things holding us back? That we don't know about that. So, I'll just give you a little example. There's 4 color personalities. People are wired differently. One of the color personalities is called red. Red personalities like to be in charge, like to be in boss, like to tell other people what to do. They're high achievers. They're bottom line people, no excuses, let's just get this done. My wife is a red personality. And what's interesting about red personalities is they're never wrong. And they never listen because they already have all the right answers. Slightly exaggerated, but how many people here know a red personality? So if you knew about red personalities, you would change how you answer objections for each color personality. It's better and better. So I'll just give you one example to show about I need to think it over or talk over somebody. I'm talking to a red personality, a lady. Right? And she says to me, I know red personalities, I know the motivation, they like to be in charge, like to be in control, and things done. And she says, well, I need to talk it over with my husband. I said, of course you need to, because many wives have to ask permission from their husband for every little thing they do. The only difference between us and where we want to be is just some things we learn over time. How many people here believe we could learn this? Yeah, we can. Well, we won't learn it tonight, or everything we need to know, but we can at least believe that we can learn it. There's no difference between Kim and everybody here in the room, or me, or anybody else. It's just that maybe we've had a little bit more time to learn some of this stuff, right? Now, we can put off learning forever. That's probably not a big deal. So, let's focus now. We're going to do the one, I need to think it over, because a lot of people have that habit. So, if somebody says, I need to think it over, there's 2 options. Number 1 is they don't have the guts to tell us no. They're afraid to tell us no because they're going to think we're going to argue with them, right? They're just trying to tell us no in a nice, polite way, instead of saying, I just think you're stupid. So they're being nice to us. I wouldn't say most, but many times they tell us, I need to think it over. They're just trying to say no in the most polite way. So let's push that aside, because that just means we messed up earlier. We didn't do a good job. But let's talk to the people that really think I need to think it over. Fair enough? Would you like to handle the ones that really are worried that do want to think it over? Yeah. Can we handle it? Alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by understanding why they have to think it over. We're going to take away the luxury of them thinking it over. Now, here's why people want to think it over. Number 1 is they made a bad decision in the past. How many people have made a bad decision in the past? How do you feel about it? Bad. Do you ever think about it again? And how do you feel about it? Bad. If we think about 10,000 times, the back of our mind says, man, you made 10,000 bad decisions. Don't you ever make another decision again. It might turn out bad, we're going to feel bad, so don't make any decisions. So the back of our minds, humans want to put off and delay decisions because it may turn out to be bad. It's very natural, very normal. So don't go out looking for people that don't want to think it over, because they aren't it. Everybody here had a tough decision to make, you want to put off as long as possible. Reason number 2 is we are programmed by our employers not to make decisions. The employer says, don't you think? Do it this way. This is the way it is. So when you and I talk to people, they are programmed to want to think it over. True? So if they want to think it over, here's the first words we're going to say. Now, they say, I need to think it over. Are we going to disagree?
Okay.
Disagree, what are we going to do? Agree, yeah. So I say, well, I need to think it over. We're going to say, relax. It's okay. How many of you can memorize? Relax, it's okay. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. One partner here is going to do the dramatic pose. Oh, I have to think it over. And the other part is going to say, relax, it's okay. Just give it a try and see how it feels. The next thing we're going to do is tell them that not making a decision is actually making a decision. There's no such thing as not making a decision. Trying to get on the airplane. They say, 1 minute the door's closed. I'm like, well, I want to think it over. Has a decision been made? Yeah. I sit out in the middle of your big road out here and cars are coming at me and I go right or left. Oh, I don't know, I'll just get over it. Splat. Thinking it over is a decision not to do it. Is that true? Yeah. Not to do it now.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as no decision. Thinking it over is a decision not to do anything now to keep our situation the same. Thinking it over is a decision to keep our situation the same. So all we're going to do is point out that there's no such thing as not making a decision now. And we remove the luxury of them feeling, oh, I could put it off till later. We just let them know that they have to make a decision now. So let's talk to somebody and they say, well, I don't know about this business or not, if I should do it, or I really did think it over. And I'm going to say, relax, it's okay to make a decision not to join the business tonight. Is that true? They have that option. Let's honor that. So, can y'all do this? Put your finger apart and say, relax, it's okay to make a decision not to join the business tonight. Just give it a try. Was that nice? Now, here's my question. Do decisions have consequences?
Yes.
All right. So out of fairness, we are going to point out the consequences of making that decision not to join them. Might as well, I mean, we're nice people, right? Is it okay if I exaggerate slightly?
Yes.
The reason I'm going to exaggerate is it's going to be easier to remember. We wouldn't go this far. Okay. So relax. It's okay to make a decision not to join the business tonight and keep making your low salary, which is not enough to give anything to your children so they don't even come to your funeral. It's an exaggeration. I wouldn't say that without smiling now. So, or relax. It's okay to make a decision not to buy some elderberry and continue having heartburn and misery and pain and not sleeping at night and having miserable days for the rest of your life while you're suffering. Or relax. It's okay to make a decision not to use natural toothpaste and continue stuffing chemicals inside your children's mouth until child services take your children away. These are exaggerations. But can we remember that we have to let them know the consequences? we're not through with them yet. We're pros, right? And then I'm going to say, but it is also okay to make a decision to do it, right? Come on. And point out the benefits. So there's no more I need to think it over, is there? It's all gone. So let's put this in perspective. Let's try this. Oh, I don't know, I joined the business line. It's so hard. I need to think it over. My tiny brain can't process this. I just don't know this. What am I going to say? It's okay to make a decision not to join tonight and to keep working for that cream-sucking vampire boss and every day getting misery. But it is also okay to make a decision to join tonight and start the countdown to firing your boss. Relax. It's okay to make a decision not to use our all natural toothpaste and continue putting chemicals inside your children's mouth every day. But it's also okay to start being a good mother. Just too easy. Relax. It's okay to make a decision to put off buying the C9 and never really getting your weight loss started. But it's also okay to make a decision to start tonight so you stop being known as the bad habit. Are you all ready? You don't have to exaggerate this much. But I want one partner, the few minutes we have here remaining, to grab your hand, do the drama. Oh, it's such a big decision I need to think over. And you're going to say, relax. It's okay to make a decision not to, and it's also making a decision to. Everybody ready? Let's begin. Fear of objections. Yeah. Maybe not all of them, but enough to start, right? Yes. Here's the situation. We spent a little over 2 hours here tonight to learn a little bit of skill that can get us closer. How many people, don't worry about how much we learn, we only scratch the surface. And you think, oh, there's a lot more to learn, but it also means there's some cool stuff that we have no idea that exists that's just so cool we're going to make a fortune. How many people are glad that we've only started learning cool stuff? Yeah. So it's going to get better and better. All I'm going to ask you to do is please don't judge your business based on what we know now. We will know more tomorrow, the next day, so don't make up your mind too quick. This is the coolest business in the world. It's just like being a dentist. You will have to know what to do. True? Yes. You're not going to get on an airplane out here and the captain says, welcome aboard, thanks for flying with us. I don't know how to fly this plane, but I have a pretty good attitude. So I know, right? You don't want to die, you don't want to get on an airplane. So what we're going to do is learn the skills. Were the skills that we learned tonight very hard? Easy. So remember, 75% you've all accomplished that already. You got your mind together, right? The 25% is the easy part. Here's why I like to teach the skills, because that's the easy part. The hard part is changing people's minds and attitudes. I don't do that. It's just too hard. How many people are glad you came here tonight? All right, so we only started out to give you a couple of resources. How many people here could afford free? Free. All right. Free. If you go, there's a book called Why You Need to Do Network Marketing. And it's a cool book because every new person who reads it says, oh man, I don't care what my relatives say, I'm going to do this thing. Would you like to have a copy of that book free so you could keep new people from wanting to quit? All right? Yes. There's, if you go to Big Al Books, B-I-G-A-L, Books, B-O-O-K-S. B like in big. Alright? Go to bigalbooks.com. Everybody have that? In the middle of the page it says free. Click on free. Did y'all do that? Yes. You'll get the book, plus you'll get 2 free audios from a workshop I did in Dallas, Texas on how to sponsor people. Free. Can you all afford free?
Yes.
Alright, so all I'm going to ask you to do is, if you'd like to start learning some more skills to get there quicker, download the book, download those 2 audios, and just get started free. And everybody in your downline can do it. That's it. How many people here think, oh, maybe I can pull that off? Alright? Next thing is, all these skills work better when you use them. So tomorrow, are we going to say to somebody, like your job or something like that?
Yes.
Would it be okay? If somebody says no, it's okay. We don't have to drag them across the finish line, right? We're not responsible for the trauma they had in their lives. Take the easier ones. Later on, when you want to be a missionary, when you take care of everybody, but for now, take the easy ones. How many people are going to talk to at least one person tomorrow? We talked about it. Now we can talk to them regular, we can talk to them like a diamond. How many people here like to talk like a diamond?
Yes.
If you talk like a diamond, what will you become? Yeah, it's not that hard. Last thing is, there's a event in Florida every year called the Mastermind. They get the top networkers from all over. I got the man who did it, Art Jonak, to put a bunch of recordings from the Mastermind. These are the best speeches from the top networkers from around the world. Put on one of these little thumb drives. Now, Art did it for me as a favor. If you want one of these, you can pick it up for 40 dirham. Everybody okay with that? Cover the cost. But you'll have some of the top people like Warren Woodward talking about things about my part, the 75%, which is pretty important. I got Art to do this because he's my son-in-law. And he wants to be in my will. So, anyway, he took the top recordings, put them all on a thumb drive. If you'd like to have one of these to start learning some more skills, on the way out, I think the lady back there has one. Give her 40 dirham and pick up one of these and start learning. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Everything else, you're going to start learning by trial and error, but we're going to get better because we know how it works. How many people had a great time here tonight?
Yeah.
How many people here think, you know what, we could be a diamond, we just change the words we said? Yeah. Now, it takes us a while to learn the words, but we can do it, even if we have people from our country that are just jerks, right? Or even if we have negative people. Every person here in this room has a clear path. The only thing is, we did not know what we did not know. Just like jumping on that airplane. But once we know what we don't know, we can learn what we don't know. Everybody here can do it. So number 1, everybody, tomorrow talk to one person. Number 2, how many people download the free book and audios? Number 3, on the way out, if you'd like to start running the skills quicker for 48 hours, we put them all here on one of these. Some guys pick that up. I am going to turn it over to the man in the console. We're going to give you've been sitting for a long time, haven't you? So let's all give a huge standing ovation for Jules. Come on up here, Jules!